I made $25,000 on Rover my first year, but that was only half of my boarding revenue. Rover got me started, but repeat clients, referrals, and local visibility turned it into a business. I started boarding dogs from home during COVID. COVID had shut down my portrait business of 20 years, and I had to find something to do. I'd always been a dog mom. I'd always had a small pack of dogs of my own, so I was already partially set up. I was not looking to board dogs at all, but just had to find something to do. And when you've been self employed for so long, people don't really want to take a chance on you. So I thought, well, I'll just see how boarding goes and I'll try it for a little while. I had a friend in New York who had done it for a long time and it was really working out for her. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. And to my shock, my first year in boarding, I made more than any year in my entire portrait studio business, which was like, what? How did this happen? Um, and 5 years later, I'm still doing it today. So I've put some things together I'm going to share with you. Stick around to the end. And thanks for watching right now. Homeboarding is not exactly easy money, but it can come a lot faster than most other businesses because there is a need for pet care, dogs and cats and other pets. Now, I've just chosen to focus on boarding dogs in my home, and I've set everything up for boarding dogs. There are people who go and do homestays and pet sit away from home because they don't have the space. And that works great too. And a lot of people are making six figures if they want to at that. You can make several hundred a month, all the way to many thousands of dollars a month boarding dogs. So I was just shocked. And of course, it's very seasonal. So you have to be creative to fill in the gaps on the slow months, but you can easily have $1,000 months all the way up to 9,000 or more, depending on your capacity for space and your personal ability to handle that many dogs. But it's totally a reality that I think a lot of people are not aware of, and people from all ages, adult ages, if you love dogs, you have to love dogs because there's a lot of challenges with this. And if you don't love dogs, it's going to get old very fast. But if you do love dogs, you can stay at home, work from home. You can be doing other work from home and still board dogs and make over $50,000 a year if you want. But it's up to you. You decide how much do you want. I've talked to people who only wanted to make $1,000 to $2,000 a month, which is still a decent, respectable amount of money. But if you want to make a lot, or say closer to six figures, it's possible. And so I was not expecting that. And this is why I have put together a guide for people, because I didn't know about it myself when I was needing extra income. And I'm sure there are other people similar to my situation. So this is for, adults from, graduated high school to seniors retiring and wanting to add some extra income while they can. You can do it part-time, full-time. Um, the the biggest challenge probably comes with stays that overlap when you are booking and you want to have a steady flow, that they are going to overlap, and it is going to be a challenge to get some time off if when you're fully booked. But you know that's a good problem to have. By my third year of boarding, I had hit almost 70K, which just blew my mind. Just completely blew my mind. So, boarding dogs from home, and that's some serious money. I think that, is going to surprise some people. And uh, if you're good with dogs and good with people, because they kind of go together, you have to make the owners happy for them to come back. You have to make connections with the dogs so the owner can see your connection to the dog and that you've made their dog happy and comfortable and safe, and you give them activities and exercise, um, and protect them, that they will see that, and they will appreciate that, and they will pay for it. I have clients who drive 30 to 40 minutes to come and put their dogs with me. So, and I'm in a very populated area. So that to me is like, I've done something right. They're willing to go that far when there are so many pet sitters in my area that they could pick from and not trouble themselves with an hour trip, round trip, just to drop their dogs off and pick them up again. Um, so those are some signs that something's going right here, um, and you have a chance to build really nice connections with the dogs if you love dogs. That I have dogs who have been coming for 5 years now, and they are almost like extended family. They get so excited when they see me, when their owner brings them to the driveway and I go out to pick them up, and they are so excited. I have one client in particular whose dog, when she comes, typically stays 2 to 3 weeks at a time. And so this is like her second home. And she freaks out in such a way of happiness when she comes here that the owner is actually jealous and thinks that she loves me more than she loves her. And so, like, well, she is allowed on the couch here if she wants to. So, um, she gets a few benefits from coming. But anyway, you get nice relationships with the people and the dogs, and so that's kind of the upside, the big upside of it. They're coming back. You don't have to learn a new dog. You get dogs that you know very well by now, and it's just awesome that way. So I really love that part of it. So when you're new, you're just looking to get new bookings, new bookings, new bookings. So they're all new dogs. You're not really focused on getting repeat clients until you start to figure it out. If you develop a relationship with that owner and prove to them that this dog, is well cared for, and you've gone above and beyond, giving them updates with nice photos or videos of what the dog is doing. And the dog is showing signs when they pick the dog up from you. The dog is like almost hesitant to leave. And that will happen. They will like look back at you and like, really? Am I going to see you again? And the owners know that. They see that, and it matters. And it plays a big part in their choice to bring their dog back to you. So the real growth comes from repeat clients, referrals. If they love you, they're going to tell their friends, and reviews. That's the validation. When they leave you nice reviews, you need to share those everywhere. um, Knowing how to share your behind the scenes on social media is huge, because people want to see what other dogs are coming to stay with you, and are they looking happy? Do they look like they're having a good time? And that kind of thing. So it's there's a little more that goes into it to get you going faster. I had to learn how to set boundaries, because they will walk all over you if you let them. There's a misconception with a lot of dog owners who have not boarded in private homes in the past, and sadly, it's a sizable percentage that don't take into consideration everything that we have committed to and set up in our homes, things that we have even sacrificed in our homes to make room for boarding and commit to boarding. And they just think we're just sitting on the couch eating ice cream all day, and will change their appointments without, giving you any warning, or they might just show up at your house without any notice. We're here. We're going to get them early. So there are a lot of things that you have to do to set expectations for clients, and by the way, don't call me at 7 in the morning on Mother's Day when your dog isn't even staying with me today. They're coming in 2 weeks, and you have a question that seems really random when they've already been coming for 2 years, and now you have a question about crates and you decide to call on Mother's Day. So, um, you know, crazy things happen, and that's just all part of it. Getting, bracing yourself and thinking about what could happen and how to set expectations for the owners. I've hosted hundreds of dog stays with 130 five-star reviews on Rover. Clients keep coming back. In the past 5 years, I've hosted over 240 stays just from Rover, and less than half my bookings were from Rover. So I don't know the exact number of my total stays in the 5 years, but it's a lot. And I have had about 100 repeat clients. So right now I'm kind of in a cycle of about 50 to 60 who are consistently coming back, and that's pretty cool. That's where you want to be. You want to have a good chunk of repeat clients, because then you don't have to run all these meetings for new clients, and they can, if your schedule's open, they can presumably give you relatively short notice, a day or two. Do you have room for Colette? I have something come up. Do you have room? They appreciate that so much. I can't even tell you. They call you up or text you, and in 5 seconds you can respond if you're with your phone when the text comes in, and they just are like, "Wow, thank you so much." And and when they're repeat clients, okay, Colette's coming back. Can't wait to see Colette, who happens to be the little girl in the top corner of this slide right here. And anyway, and sadly, she did pass away 2 years ago. So a little heartbreaker, but we sure enjoyed having her when she came. And her owner has gotten a new dog who is now coming. So anyway, you get involved in the life cycle of these dogs, and they become like family. And it's really has a very meaningful side to this work, I have to say. So I do appreciate that a lot. And so I really wanted to share what I've learned, my, hard lessons and things that went right with new sitters, to help them avoid all the hassles that I had, and hopefully make the amount of money that you're looking for. So I created a dog boarding blueprint, and it's got everything. It's actually a full starter kit. So it has a 24-page guide and a complete app, a boarding management app. No subscription required. I know there are some services out there that do this kind of thing for you, but this, I'll have another video with a demo of that app coming soon. But that's included, and then also a boarding agreement contract that every boarder should have, a contract for their clients to sign that, spells things out of what you're responsible for and what they're responsible for. And I kind of learned the hard way that I delayed getting one of those, and I ended up having a client who didn't really understand her place and what was her responsibility and what was my responsibility. and it turned into a harassment situation where it was completely unnecessary and um, pointless, basically. But that kind of like made me pull the trigger of, okay, it's time. It's time to have an agreement that everybody is on board with. So that's included. And I would recommend, if you have an attorney, have them look it over. But um, it seems to be a pretty solid device. So anyway, those are the three things. And if you want to start smarter, you can check it out. I'll have a link to it. Um, I also have a free meeting guide if you're interested in that, how to run meetings. And I've completely changed the way I run meetings since my first 2 years, where I used to give home tours. Oh, no, 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 no. They will try and turn it into a play date. And if you've got crates and gates and things around, they can be kind of judgy about, you live like this, it just doesn't add. Plus, you can't hear each other talk if you have other boarders. It is just chaos, chaos. The other dogs will be freaking out, and it's just not a good experience at all. You can't hear each other talk to ask questions and things. So I stopped giving home tours, and I direct everyone either to photos on my phone or my Instagram, where I frequently post so they can get a sense of what the space looks like, the yard looks like, the other kind of dogs that I have coming here, as well as my own dogs. And it saves my dogs and the guest dogs so much drama, because especially in your first 2 years, you're going to be finding weeks where you may have as many as 10 meetings in a week. If you're giving tours for all of those, oh my God, your neighbors will hate you. So the barking alone will just send them over the edge. So, um, yeah, so there's all my tips about how to run meetings, especially when you're trying to get a bunch of meetings going in your first couple of years. Anyway, so that's free. That's totally free. And what else? Oh yeah. Having been a portrait photographer for 20 years, I just published a book on how to take better dog portraits with your phone. It's called Dog Phoneography, and it's on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. And then I also have a downloadable PDF for purchase in the little store where I have the boarding starter kit. So, um, anyway, I've got a lot of stuff, and I'll also do coaching calls for anybody who might have specific issues, how to set their home up, or how to deal with dog behaviors, um, client issues, all that stuff. I'm happy to see how I can help you. So anyway, thanks for listening. And I think this good? Yeah, this is my last slide. So thank you so much. I hope something helps you, inspires you, and that you're interested in boarding dogs. If you're not already, you can do it. You can do it, and I'm here to help you. So good luck, and let me know how it goes.